So, for all of you who, after the election, is crashing out on TikTok, Instagram, X, YouTube, what have you, complaining, crying about pretty much playing the victim like things are unfair, I try to relay a message saying that a lot of us, no matter, let me keep it personal. That myself, it really didn't matter who won. Now I know who I'd prefer to win, policy wise, economic wise, money wise, based on past, experiences. But regardless of who would have became president, who would have won the election, I feel I'd be okay because all I'm gonna do is step my game up just that much more. Probably will step my game up regardless, but hey, just gonna make sure I step my game up, like I said, that much more to make sure I keep what I got and to keep growing and to keep moving forward. People, I feel that, like I say, crashed out, got upset, played the victim, got mad, are the ones who don't know what to do. Woe is me. Feel like they can't do anything in their life to make their lives better or to make things right in their life. And that's a defeatist attitude. And I personally feel that it gets you nowhere. And that's why a lot of people get nowhere. They still stay stuck in their teens, 20s, 30s, 40s till the day they die in a rut in nowhere land, doing mediocre, doing nothing, no accomplishing nothing, being nothing, not even striving to be nothing, just living because they feel like everything's against them. Even people who there are opportunities, everybody, I'm just like this, everyone gets opportunities to do something. Everyone. You may not get the same opportunity as the person sitting next to you. Hell, might not get the same opportunity as a person living in the same house as you, but you'll get an opportunity. I may have, who knows, like six figure income, decent car, nice plot of land, some savings, some investments, growing, not nothing major, but growing, little small business try to grow and increase. So in years, I could be able to retire at an early age from corporate America and run my own company. But like I say, small may have that, and you may barely have a high school education. Nothing more than that. Get little mediocre jobs, but there are opportunities for you to grow. It may take, and you may look at me and say, "Oh, well, you got this, that, and the third." Well, I started out, didn't go back. No, got my high school degree, diploma. Went to college for a little while. Stopped going to college for years, and then like 10 years later, went back to school and took one class here, one class there. This, and built until I got the career that I have now. And what I'm saying, steadily growing. You may not have, like I said, you ain't got what I got now, but you can start like I started, like most people started. But anyway, my point is people want to act like they can't do anything. What I'm saying? The election is over. So now they're gonna be in misery for 4 years. Well, here's what I say. Just like you knew the election was happening this year, you got a whole nother 4 years to prepare for the next election. You got a whole nother 2 years to prepare for the midterms. Matter of fact, if you really want to make a change, you can vote or you can become part of the political process if you don't like something. Case in point, this story right here. I remember when this story came out. And during the COVID, I remember when they arrested this woman. People talked about her. She went to jail, got bailed out, this and the third. Now look at what this woman has done. This is a story that I think I always make a story for my people because I want us to understand how things get done. That Megan Thee Stallion, Usher, Lizzo, whoever, Lil Jon, whoever else that Kamala Harris had out there on front stage to help get her votes and she still lost. Those people are not going to get Beyonce. Those people are not going to get your bills paid. Those people are not going to get your taxes reduced, put more money in your pocket. They are not. You are the only person that can take care of you and to make sure that you are taken care of. But let's get into this story real quick.
Special guest coming up. Here we go. My next guest is the owner of a salon in Texas. She was jailed during COVID because she opened her store for business. She then ran for the Texas state legislature, and guess what? She won. Her name is Shelley Luther, and she joins me now. Shelley, is it?
Now, hold on. You might say, well, white woman, blonde hair, white privilege. Yeah, you could possibly be right. But we can't say that in this DEI era when you have all these black judges, black, especially women now. These black judges, these black women mayors, these black women district attorneys, these black women attorney generals, these fake black women vice president. So you really couldn't say these past few years. See, that's the thing about it. There was an opportunity there for everyone to, if they didn't like the way the political system was ran, could have got in it and got involved. I tell people all the time, since the beginning of my channel years ago, you can go down, there's like sessions every year, January, I believe. You can go down, I know down here in Texas, you can go down to the state capitol and sit in legislative sessions and see what these people are voting on, what they bringing to the table before Congress to be voted on later. You can go to you can go to these meetings when they got the public meetings. You can go to these. Your local city council have meetings probably at least, I'm gonna say here, I know twice a month at least. And if you can't go down to it, shoot, you can go online. You can because the city you live in probably most likely has a YouTube page. And you just subscribe like you should be doing here. Like, subscribe, and share. Share, like, subscribe. Yeah. And well, you can comment too. But you can subscribe to those channels, to that channel, and so that time, and get your notification. So that time, so when they get ready to have a session, you get that notification. You open up your little phone or your laptop or your iPad or whatever, and you can watch what's going on in the city council. Like here, I watch like city council meetings, and I can watch the school ISD meetings. I'm subscribed to those channels, so when it pops up and it get a meeting, if I'm available to watch, and if it's like they're talking about things that I'm concerned with and I can't make it down there, I'll watch it. That's, what I'm saying, that's the least you can do. So at least you know what's happening in your community. But if you want to get involved, you go down there and you make your voice heard. But anyway, let's continue.
Is it true that you opened up your store again because you saw Nancy Pelosi getting her hair done during the lockdown? Is that true?
Well, we actually had the salon open before Nancy Pelosi started doing that, but I had already gone to jail for opening my salon, and Nancy thought she could do whatever she wants.
Okay. Now, you're in the Texas state legislature. What's your top priority?
Obviously, we need to lessen government. So especially during an emergency situation, the government doesn't get to do whatever they want. And we need to make sure that we have laws in place to make sure that people can manage their own self and their own families.
Check us out real quick. Personal story. One, we have where I live at, we had this issue with the water. Like in the summertime, the water be piping hot. Wouldn't get cold, no matter what, unless you run it like in the middle of the night when everybody's asleep. And that causes problems like when you take a shower, when your kids take a bath, when you're washing your clothes, you put it on a cold cycle, you open your washing machine, and it's like heat coming up out of the washing machine. It's a problem. Go down. I went down to to one of the meetings, like the water board meetings, and voiced my concern. We was actually invited down there. One of the people in our community, like, hey, the water company having these meetings, well, the city, the county having these meetings, or the water, because that's who ran to run the water is a doggone county. They're having a meeting on this day. Let's go down there, voice your opinion, voice your concerns, and see what they're doing to fix the situation. I went down there, spoke, and when I went down there, was actually some people down there who was handing out pamphlets like, hey, this election is coming up. so we can get these people off of here, off this council, off this board, because they've been here since like the 90s. So like 30 freaking years they've been on here, and they've been taking money, using money, you know, squandering money, probably pocketing it, and they're not doing anything to fix the situation. The community is growing too fast. They need to do something to fix the community, the situation, but they have no money because they're using money for this. So we need, so we need to go down. So you need to vote these people out. So I went down there. A few of us, so everybody in the neighborhood was invited, but I think only like maybe 2 or 3 of us, or the families, went down there. I know I voiced my opinion, my frustration, asked questions. The answer they gave me was jacked up. So I said, you know what? Gonna vote them out. When it came down to vote, went and voted them out, and then they're gone. So now it seems like the water situation is getting better. You see what I'm saying? That's how you make a difference in the politics. Forget Kamala Harris, forget Donald Trump. I did that because it was local, and it affected me personally. Like I said, that's how you take care of things on a local level. You get involved.
Are you angry with the officials or the policies that put you in jail in the first place?
Oh, example number 2, homeowner association. Now, when we bought this house, we knew it was an HOA, but really didn't understand HOAs until we got in. Now, ours is not really as bad as other people's I've seen. I mean, we've been, got citation or whatever for like grass that needs to be mowed after it rained like for 2 weeks straight, and we had a chance to get out there and mow it or get it mowed because of water, because the ground been muddy for 2 weeks. But then the first day the sun come out, you want to put you want to put a citation out. Okay, well then it got mowed the next day. No, actually the day that it was sent to me was mowed. So it's like, anyway, HOA. Everybody complained about it, didn't know what to do, didn't know how to get rid of it, or if we should keep it or get rid of what the benefits of were. So you know what I did? I joined the board. Not to join it to say I agree with what they're doing, but to join it to see exactly what's going on and see if I can make a difference. So again, when you got issues like this woman did, you get involved in politics or the policies or whatever. So in order to make things better.
I'm not angry anymore. I was at first, honestly, but I'm just ready to get to work and make things better for Texas.
Okay, have you still got the business, and how's it doing?
I do. Salon a la Mode, and it's in North Dallas, and come check it out. We have a lot of great people that work there.
Have you got a lot of business because you were in jail, now you're out and in the Texas state legislature, and you proved your point? Have you got a lot of business?
Absolutely. We have people that go there and get their hair done just because of what we did. And we also have hairstylists there that are cutting hair because they know we will never shut down again.
That's wonderful. Shelley, I know it's been short, but thanks very much for being with us. You're our hero. Thanks for joining us, Shelley Luther.
Thank you.
See you again soon. Thanks.
So, hey, prime example of how you actually get things done to make sure that, hey, if you don't like the way the system is run, change it. Be a part of it so you can make changes. Now, everybody's not going to be part of legislation, I know. But I said, like, during this election, make sure you vote in your local elections, because that's the most important thing that will affect you, affect you immediately. Get part of your local elections. But I always say too, you got to make a change. Like, and I told you, like, I'm reading this book, right? I started reading it before, but I got into another book and I just finished it. So I'm like starting back reading this book. And what it's called? It's called How to Change the Law. And I mean, what does it say? Let me read the back. It says a do-it-yourself manual for regular voters, small business owners, and policy advocates who want to take political action, influence leaders, and change laws. So just like a step-by-step guide to where you can like change, and it's a lot of details. A lot, like it says, it's simple, but it's not easy, but it's simple. Just follow these little things, because you may have laws locally that you need to change. Well, like I said, you want to be part of the political process to make the change. And you might think, well, how in the heck can I change the law? You can't really change the law. Then I go back to this other book that I read earlier called The Whiteness of Wealth by Dorothy A. Brown, who was a tax attorney. And it's a great book. I told you before about this book. You need to read it. And she had a prime example, a great example of how tax laws were changed by one family. Like back in the 40s, what's it say? So let me read a quick excerpt of this so you can see how things can change, how you can make changes. It says, meet, this is on page 30, right? It says, meet Henry and Charlotte Seaborn, the rich white society couple whose lawsuit led the Supreme Court to establish the joint tax return in 1948. Tax laws. But what we talk about, what we hear what Trump talk about, changing tax laws, lower your taxes, put more money in your pocket, that can happen. And amazingly, average citizens can make it happen. Not just the president, not just those in Congress who can put it out there for the people to see and for it to even be voted on in the first place. Citizens. It says Henry and Charlotte were married in 1902 before we even had a progressive income tax system. As noted in the introduction, when the system was enacted in 1913, taxpayers were required to file as individuals. That meant the same rate schedule applied whether you were married or single. There were different exemption amounts for individuals and married couples, $3,000 versus $4,000, on the grounds that it costs less to maintain one household for two people than two separate households, which had the potential to provide a small tax cut when you got married. In 1913, however, only 1% of Americans had income high enough to have to pay taxes. So 113 years ago, only 1% of the people in this country even have made enough money to pay taxes. Crazy, ain't it? By 1930, exemption amounts had been lowered, requiring about around 5% of Americans to file tax returns, including Henry and Charlotte, respectively, the vice president of the Skinner and Edie shipbuilding company and his socialite stay-at-home spouse. It says, according to court records in 1927, Henry had taxable income of just under $38,500, about $500,000 a day, adjusted for inflation. More than half of that income came from investments. That's a whole other piece of tax. Okay. The lower tax bracket, which applied to taxable income under $20,000 in 1913, had been lowered to $2,000 in 1917, which meant not only did Henry have to pay taxes, but he had to pay a lot of taxes. By 1927, the Seaborns were fed up. They decided to use their considerable resources to reduce their tax bill and succeeded with a little help from the United States Supreme Court. The Seaborns lived in Washington, a community property state, which gave Charlotte equal ownership of whatever income her husband received during their marriage. When they filed their taxes for 1927, Charlotte put half of Henry's income and expenses on her tax return. So this is community. See, these people know. That's why I try to tell you, you got to know the law, know the tax law, know, know about no tax law, no constitutional law, and know about finances. And Henry did the same. The marriage exemption was $3,500 that year, and the Seaborns each decided to take half of it, which was $1,750. Here's how this works in practice. And for the simplicity, let's count only Henry's wage income, not his investment. So Henry had an income of $15,000 and Charlotte had none. If he obeyed the law and as a married taxpayer filed on the joint return, he would subtract the personal exemption of $3,500 and have a taxable income of $11,500. That would result in a $370 tax bill, roughly $5,400 in today's. His marginal tax rate was 6%, the highest rate his last dollars of income were taxed at. So it said, since he didn't obey the law and allocated half his income to Charlotte for tax purposes, each spouse thus reported net income of $7,500 apiece. Because there was no option for a person with no income like Charlotte to file a return. Seaborn invented one and deducted half of the merit exemption from each income. That would put their taxable income at $5,750 each, which a resulting tax bill of $112.50 for each. Under this scenario, the highest margin tax rate was only 3%. Compared to what was it, 6%? So it's like half. So anyway, I ain't gonna read the whole thing. Get the book, read it yourself. Basically, what happened is they got audited. The courts wanted their money. They went and sued they paid the money, but then went and sued the government, went to the Supreme Court, and they won. And got the tax law changed. My point is, again, you want to see changes, do it yourself. Either do it yourself or find somebody who can do it for you, but don't depend on people in Washington, D.C. to make those changes when they could care less about you. But your city council, your people on the county seats, in the city seats, uh, even your governors and your senators and your state representatives, those people care about you because they know that you vote them out. It's a popular vote or the popular vote. But in the president, it's that electoral college. You know what I'm saying? So the closer you get to your home, to where you voting, you can make a change. But if not, like I said, go make the change yourself. Like this lady did here. Look at her. She's happy. She don't been to jail, got arrested, spent time in jail because all she wanted to do was make money. But now she said, hey, it's too much government in my, you know what I'm saying, in my life. I'm gonna get into government so I can get the government out of my life. Just like I did with getting the HOA. I got in the HOA so I could find a way to get the HOA up out of my life. Simple as that. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below, share it with the world. Let's have an intelligent conversation. You know how we do around here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you nothing but maybe a couple of minutes out your day, but it means the world to us here. Also, if you would like to support financially, you can always give super thanks, super chats, or go to the description box below. There are links there you can click on, you know what I'm saying, to support us financially. Don't forget to go to marlonmorale.com. That's marlonmorale.com where you get 10% off your first purchase of all our luxury items. And also down below in the shop button, we're having a sale there on our miniature beard kit sandalwood oil fragrance, where we had the oil, the balm, and the shampoo. And you know, sandalwood has been clinically proven to help stimulate hair follicle growth. So if you're just trying to grow your beard or to get that beard looking thicker, why not use the best fragrance, the best scent, the best whatever, the best product to get the job done? So again, hit the shop button below, catch our sale on our mini beard kits. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.